to Flip Class History. I'm Janet Comer.
And I'm Ashley Glaze.
You know, Ashley, I love to travel. This summer I did some traveling to the mountains. Do you like to travel?
Oh, I love to travel. In fact, I'm going to be going to the beach soon.
Oh, that's amazing. I love the beach, but did not make it this summer, so maybe I still will, though.
Maybe so. How did all this get started with traveling in the first place?
Marco Polo went on some travels. He went to Asia and China and everything, and then he came back and he wrote a book called The Travels. And in there, he talked about all these wonderful and fantastic things that he saw and he wrote about. You ever had a friend who liked to tell tall tales? They exaggerated things. They talked about, a fish that they caught, and then you saw the picture and it was just a little. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Well, Marco Polo was a little like that, and he talked about all these fantastic things that he saw and that he did. And so when people read his books, they went, I want to go and do that too. So,
Makes sense. I mean, if you make it fantastic enough, people are going to want to travel.
that's true.
But how did they all of a sudden decide they were just going to get up and go? Did they get a motorbike?
No, they had to learn how to build ships and things. And so Prince Henry, the navigator, he opened up a school, and people came in and they trained. They learned how to read the stars so they would be able to circumnavigate where they were on the waters and all. And so he taught them how to ship build, all these different things. And then he would send his students out to go and explore for him.
Well, wonderful. That must mean that he was a great explorer himself.
You would think so, especially with the name like Prince Henry the Navigator. But actually, he was afraid of the water, and he never stepped foot onto a boat and never set sail at all.
Oh, that doesn't bode well for the saying that those who can't do teach.
Yes, no. What does that mean for us?
We teach history. We need a TARDIS.
We do need a TARDIS, and if we had a TARDIS, we could go back in time and see how the slave trade first got started.
What would that have looked like?
Prince Henry is going to send out his students to go out to another land, and he tells them to bring back something to prove that they were in someplace different. I would think maybe a plant, maybe an animal. They could get them on there without too much trouble. But instead, they invited 12 people from Africa to come back with them, and that is going to begin the slave trade.
It starts off so small. How did it grow to something where it's like hundreds and thousands leaving their homes?
There's something called a triangular trade, and what happens is people in Europe are going to send finished goods to Africa. Africa is then going to send people over to the Americas, and the Americas are going to send raw materials to Europe so they can make their completed goods, and then continue on with the cycle.
That makes complete sense. What kind of crops were here in America that they were using the slaves for?
Sugarcane.
Okay.
And so what had happened is you had a lot of the natives who had gotten diseases and had died, and so they needed to bring in people to take their place. And so they ended up buying slaves to come in and to work on the sugar plantations.
And I heard that sugarcane was one of the hardest crops to have to raise. Very back-breaking labor.
Yes, a lot of hard work. And so that's why they were looking to purchase slaves.
Now, the slaves, they journeyed over from Africa to America. What was that exactly?
Well, that is called the Middle Passage. And if you will check out the link at the top of the screen, then you will learn out more information about the Middle Passage.
And that will be a wrap for today. We hope to see you again. Live long and prosper.